I was permanently banned from YouTube for giving my opinion on COVID-19 and the mRNAs. Actually, I was banned for referencing somebody else's opinion, Brett Weinstein's opinion. I reviewed one of his videos, like a reaction video, and YouTube permanently banned me. Now, the reason why I'm making this video, allegedly, YouTube has come out and said that people that were banned for political speech and giving opinions on topics like COVID-19 and the mRNAs, well, those individuals are allowed back onto YouTube. Great. But they blamed the Biden administration, I believe. I could be wrong about that. I'm still looking into it. But there was some big Republican within the United States of America released all the information onto X, which I still have to go through. But I want to test the waters today to see if this is correct, to see if I get permanently banned on this channel, whether they pick up on this and say, no, we don't want you on. So number one, COVID-19 was the biggest pile of bullshit in my opinion. I'm stating that as an opinion, not a fact. And the reason why I think it was the biggest pile of bullshit is because no other opinions were accepted during that time. And if you want to know what's bullshit, well, try to interject in a bullshit conversation. If you get heavy pushback, negative aggressiveness, then you're probably onto something. You need to know that. But one of the key things that stood out to me where I realized it was during I think it was the end of the first lockdown, even though I knew beforehand, but this really solidified it for me, was whenever the UK government came out and said, here folks, here is a tax break for businesses so they can give you food for cheaper and you can eat around complete strangers for half price, while at the same time telling us to stay away from complete strangers. To me, I knew then that this was the biggest pile of bullshit, and what we are going through is more than likely a psychological operation. Second thing, when it comes to the mRNAs, I'm not going to call them vaccines, the mRNAs, was the individuals that were saying, well, you need to get vaccinated against COVID-19. And I said, well, I'm not getting the vaccine. I never got the vaccine. I refused to get the vaccine, and I'm happy that I didn't get the vaccine, and I will elaborate on that in other videos. But just for today, we're going to talk about this. I said, well, if you're vaccinated and I'm not vaccinated, then how do I harm you? Sure, you're vaccinated. And a lot of the times these NPCs, these non-player characters, would look at you, their brains would scramble, they would walk off, because at the time they had the power. They had the power, the narcissistic gaslighting power to control you. Today they don't, because things have changed with the Trump administration putting pressure on other Western governments to buck up their ideas and stop being tyrannical. Like the Starmer regime, where, you know, he basically is imprisoning people for tweets. But I was permanently banned from the YouTube platform. And let's talk about why I was banned. Brett Weinstein released a video, and I'm going to paraphrase here. I could be totally wrong in certain things that he said, but I think he said something along the lines of that 18 to 20 million people were dead or harmed because of the COVID-19 vaccine. And I done a review in that video, and I said in the video, this is not a fact, this is an opinion, because his opinion is based on some data. It's a theory. It's not a hypothesis, it's a theory because it's backed up with some facts, but it's not a registered fact. And I stated that. I went with the YouTube guidelines, and they permanently banned me anyway. And to talk about Google a little bit, so I got in contact with Google about my channel being permanently deleted. I'll never forget that day. And the lady said to me, well, if you stated all those things in the video, there's no reason why you won't get your channel back. And you will hear within 48 hours whether your channel will be relinquished back to you. Within 15 minutes, I received an email from Google saying, you're permanently banned. And this was quite unheard of to be heard back in that time, to hear back from them in that time. So I knew then something was up, and that they're saying it was pressure from the Biden administration and from the Liberal administrations all across the West. And it was absolutely disgusting. So for people to fully understand the situation, people like myself, our voices, our tongues were cut out because they didn't like us speaking our opinions. And when somebody doesn't like you speaking your opinions, you're probably telling the truth about some of those things. I'm not saying I was telling the truth about everything, because they were just opinions, but I was probably getting close to the truth. And this is why I'm so happy I never got the vaccines. This is why I'm so happy I never socially distanced. I never followed any of the rules, and I will continue throughout my life to never follow. Well, I'll follow the rules of, law, but with these things that the governments implement, whether it be, digital money and things like that, I will always be against the grain. I pay with everything in cash. I make sure to never toe the line when it comes to the government, because you need to know this, folks. The governments aren't there to keep you safe. They're there to control you. And it's as simple as that. Now, there's lots of theories about this, and in other videos we will dive deeper into this and my opinions on who the people are and whatnot and things like that. So this is my testing of the waters video, and if you want to keep up to date with my future videos, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment in the comment section, and give me your opinion on everything that I've spoke about in this video.